The United States has the highest rate of gun ownership among developed countries. We own 120.5 guns for every 100 people. That includes men, women, and children. In 2022, we killed 45,222 Americans, 606 mass shootings. Gun violence disproportionately affects blacks, and gun violence is the number one cause of why children die in this country. So, gun violence in America. I like it when we're first in good things, but boy, I hate being first in this. And no country on the whole damn earth is more deadly than the United States of America.
Now I forgot what I was saying. It was brilliant, though. So write to me, Don, at the podcast thing.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, so it's pretty mind-numbing. It's one of those things like you just want to push out of your consciousness. I mean, where I live, and I hate to say this because it's almost like a jinx. I mean, there's so many issues. I mean, who would ever imagine at a parade for the Super Bowl winner, 20 people would be shot, 9 of them children. I don't know how many people died. I don't really want to think about that. And I bet most people don't want to think about that.
And they always say at a time like this, it's too soon. It's too soon to talk about that. Well, if you don't talk about it right away, there's a real problem because there's going to be another mass shooting tomorrow or the next day in this, this depraved country. When you have 606 mass shootings in a year, see, there's 365 days, see? So you have a real problem.
See, your statistical chance of being involved goes up every year.
Yeah. No, there's no two ways about it. And those were 2022 numbers. I haven't even gotten final numbers on 2023, but it's worse. It's worse than it was. We keep talking about this, ad infinitum, and nobody ever does anything. We never really, they pass empty legislation, which really doesn't do anything. But the problem the reason that so many people are able to be killed is because somebody's holding an AR-15, which is essentially a machine gun.
As fast as you pull the trigger, it will fire.
What do we need this gun for in the regular population? We need it on a battlefield maybe, but we certainly don't need it here. It's not a hunting device. You don't go out into the middle of the woods and aim something like that at a deer or whatever game you're going after. So what the hell are we using? I mean, just as an aside, I don't think it's like a particularly accurate weapon. So I don't think a hunter really wants one. I mean, maybe there are versions of it that, are refined and really are accurate, but it's meant to just shoot up stuff. You point it over there and blow things apart.
A lot of stuff blows up.
Yeah.
And it's probably fun. I get the fun aspect of pointing it over there and bam, blowing up whatever it is. That's lots of fun. But it isn't it's not necessary. It's not a necessary thing to have.
No.
There's plenty of meat in the grocery case,
Right.
You don't have to shoot it and skin it and cut it up and do all that. I get the whole
if that's all they did,
self-sufficiency sort of thing. Yeah, I'm just going after the the reasonable gun ownership side of it, right, Joe?
Right, exactly.
So there's a reasonable side to things, but the other side, which is the one that everyone is really concerned with, there is no discussing it. There really is no discussing it. Just has to be done and voted on. But it has to be legislated and voted on so that the people of the country can decide how they want it to be. But that's how it needs to be. We're a democracy. That's the way it works.
In the surveys they take, they say that over 80% of registered gun owners, NRA members, would like to have more extensive background checks. So the people want a better way. They want better background checks.
Right.
But the politicians who are in charge and who receive money from the NRA, they don't want that to happen because they want the money.
So once again, I mean, we started talking last on the last cast. We started talking about the electoral college, and that's it. All comes down to the same thing. All of the issues that face our country are driven by excessive money in the political process. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's just ridiculous. I think what does it cost to become president? It's like $1 billion or something. It's some, it's crazy. And even just, you want to be like the county superintendent or whatever, some low level, 101 kind of position. You still need, money. You got to have money. You got to buy signs. You got to, try to get on the local, the local TV station. You got to be in the newspaper. You got to have money, and it is the cause. It is the problem.
Right. Right.
And while we talk about how to solve and how implacable everyone is and how this guy's no good and that guy's no good and why can't I have my guns and all the rest, it's money. It's money, money, money in politics. That is the cause. I don't know how you change that, but it is the simple switch that you can switch and everything improves. And you can vote for me. Just send me your money.
Yeah, and of course, all of us. I mean, everyone receives dozens of requests for money every single day,
Absolutely. All day
nonstop.
long.
And if you do make a donation, doesn't
That
matter
is
at all.
worse.
It's worse because then Act Blue says, "Okay, he's in a giving mood right now. Quick, everybody, go!" And
Yep.
you get 15 more requests. It's really
And
sickening.
they try to sneak them in like, do you agree with this position?
Yeah,
Yes or no? Do
right.
you think this? Do you know that the other side's really bad? Yes. And then at the end of that, give us the money.
It's very hard not to be cynical right now. And yet, without us contributing that money, then of course, the alternative is corporate America and the NRA. And let's think about that for a second. It's really a great investment for a corporation to make. It's a very affordable, very low cost investment, and the return is remarkable.
They budget for it.
There are PACs within corporations, where they'll actually ask their employees. They
Yes.
used to do it in Nabisco. I mean, we all used to get into an assembly and they'd talk about the PAC and they'd have a few people speak and then make it very clear. We want you to contribute to this and we'll match
We're keeping
your
track of it.
contribution.
And if you'd like that promotion to regional manager,
Yeah.
you know what to do.
Yeah. These people that they want to get elected will lower their taxes. So for $1 million donation, the return might be $1 billion. And what does that do? Well, it lowers the corporation's taxes. The guys in the boardroom do a great job. They make big bonuses that year. Everyone's happy. And you and I have to pay higher taxes because if they don't, we have to. If they don't pay for the roads, we have to pay for the roads. If they don't pay for the traffic lights and everything else that they use in order to make and sell their products, then we have to pay for that. Our taxes go up as their taxes go down. It's really quite simple. And yet
It really is.
people will support these guys. They will support them. They will vote for them, even though they're being robbed blind. Going back to gun control, the reason you don't have gun control is because the NRA, which is a lobbying organization, it's not what it used to be, which is an organization for proper gun training and proper gun registration. It's a lobbying organization for the gun companies. They don't want any hindrance. They want to sell whatever kind of gun they want to sell, whatever kind of massive bullet magazine that they want to sell because it's money. And so they
Give the people what they want.
how sickening, how depraved is it in a country like this that the number one cause of youth death in America is gun violence?
Seems like a real easy fix. Oh, we'd like to decrease children dying. And we're all for that. And how do we do it? Well, the number one cause is guns. Oh, not those. No, I got to have that. What's next? What's the number two? It puts the lie to the whole, we want the children.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not what you want. You want what you want. But is it the number one cause of death in white children?
No, predominantly black. 25 times
So
higher than white children. 25 times higher death rate than white children.
that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Ah,
I guess that's why they don't care. Think maybe?
yeah. I'm wrestling with that thought right now.
Yeah, that's pretty horrible.
Yeah, it's painful.
It really is. And it's
Kids are kids. Kids are kids. Your kids, my kids. Kids are kids, man.
right. Right. And we could fix this. Overnight we could fix this. 2 days ago we had an anniversary, if you will. Okay, the Parkland shooting. 17 people killed.
Yeah.
I think 15 of them were high school kids. Beautiful, healthy, young, promising high school children. Two of them, one of them was a coach and one of them was a teacher, I think, brave enough to try to stand in the way of the bullets and stop the shooter.
Oof.
Okay, 2018 that happened. Not a goddamn purposeful thing has been done since then.
A lot of thoughts and prayers went.
Oh,
A
yeah,
lot.
right. Yeah.
Lot
Yeah.
of-
And we see,
They put it on the thought and prayer-ometer,
right.
and it was just pinned.
I'm sure that there are God-fearing people who really mean it when they say they're going to offer thoughts and prayers. All they do is offer thoughts and prayers and take no action whatsoever, insist on no action whatsoever to stop this madness. What kind of relationship must they have with that creator if that's okay with them? If they think that's all they got to do is just say a prayer and then walk away? Why are they not pounding their fists on tables at town meetings, etc., and demanding that something be done? Because until that happens, until real action occurs, they're not doing anything. And they can keep their thoughts and prayers and they can put them where the moon don't shine because they're not doing shit to stop the killing of these young people. When are we just going to draw the line and say this far, no further?
If you could make a change right now, what would it be? What would you do?
Okay, here's a couple. Here's a couple of ideas, all right? And this isn't rocket science. It's pretty easy to figure this out. First of all, you expand on background checks. Number one, who is this person that wants to buy this gun? Who is he? Who is she? What do they want to use it for? What is their background? Were they in the military? Are they of sound mind? Okay, this seems to be an important question that one might ask when someone wants to buy a device that can kill people. And if they wanted to buy a device that is automated and can kill many people within seconds, then I really want to know who they are.
Yeah.
What's their background? Do they have a problem?
So
that's
background
number
checks.
one. Okay. Number two, if all of a sudden somebody buys 15, 20 guns, I'd like the cops to stop by their house and say, hey, what's going on? What are we
What's
doing?
with the Army?
Yeah, really. Are you planning an attack? Help me to understand why you wanted to buy all those guns.
Let's talk about why this isn't going to work at the same time. So these are both good solutions, but who is going to evaluate these people and decide who can and can't buy? And how do they do it? Is it part of the DMV process? You can't get a car unless you can, prove you're mentally sound. There's lots of crazy people on the road. Doesn't seem to, there's nothing going on there either. A lot of people die in motor vehicle.
Yes, but these
accidents.
are devices that are specifically designed to kill something.
Yep.
You got to get a license to fish, right?
Yep.
So why shouldn't you have to get a license to bear a firearm? And why shouldn't that license require training? And why shouldn't that license require some certification from a doctor, from a physician, from a professional, an expert, that you are of sound mind and body? Some people are going to get through the net despite our best efforts, but we could reduce it.
There is this pesky Second Amendment.
The Second Amendment is very brief. It's very direct. And it basically says in order to defend, states to defend themselves against invaders, we will not infringe upon a man's or a woman's right to bear arms. In order to be part of a well-regulated militia.
Why do we have a problem then? There it is.
But we're not doing that.
Well, it's just like the insurrection thing.
53 words in Section 3 of the 14th Amendment.
Right. So again, why do we have a problem?
Second Amendment, here it is. Okay, one line. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So they take that amendment, which is just a very few words, and they take it from the word the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And that first sentence, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, they don't talk about that. It's as if it doesn't exist. Well, if you don't take the first part of the first half of the sentence, they don't even put a period after that first half. They put a comma after that.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, comma, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed is in support of a well-regulated militia.
I totally agree with you. And there are actually armories in the state, which are, we assume, filled with working weapons of various types.
Yeah.
And people who belong to that. And most likely, I mean, I think it's a good idea that the whole population is part of that. You do your time, and you got to go on weekends and train, and you know how to clean a M16 or whatever the rifle is they're using these days. You know how to fire it, you know how to clean it, you know how to throw a hand grenade, you know all this crap, right? Like I think Switzerland does that, where they don't actually have an army, but everybody has a gun, and they're all in the army. So when they need the army, everybody goes. It's actually defense.
The bottom line is really kind of simple. Follow the words of the Constitution to the letter. Just follow the words and enforce those words, and we'll be fine. We'll be fine if you enforce those words. In order to regulate, you have to have background checks. You have to have registration. You have to have training. That's what regulation is. Good people need decent leaders. We need people that lead us to higher ground, to form a more perfect union. That was the original intention, and we're just not doing that. The most direct thing that anyone can do right now is to vote for people who want to properly regulate guns, who want to adhere to what the original words of the Constitution actually asks us to do.
That's the way it works. That's the way it works, folks. We get to vote. Let's do it while we can.
That's right. If we don't get it right, we just may not have the opportunity again. And on that dark note, we'll see you next week. Beep.
We all want to be safe. We all want to be warm. We all want to feel loved, know the comfort of home. Want our children to grow, learn to make their own sound. Seems to me we all walk on common ground. Common ground. Common ground. We all walk on common ground.
We all wanna be strong, fully free and alive. Take just enough chances, stand up tall and with pride. Yes, we all wanna play, have good friends all around. It seems to me we all walk on common ground. Common ground. Common ground.
We all walk on common ground. Some conversations aren't easy, and we wonder how we'll turn this mess around. But if we realize and seek to compromise,
one moon, lift our face to one sun, feel the wetness of rain, seek shelter, everyone. Yearn for rest when we're weary, seek solace when we're down. It seems to me we all walk on common ground.
Some conversations aren't easy,
and we wonder how we'll turn this mess around.
But if we realize and seek to compromise, we can meet on common ground. Common ground. We all walk on common ground. Common ground. Common ground. We all walk. I know that we all walk 1 foot forward. We all walk on common